And welcome back to the Faceoff. That was the classic Hartford Whalers theme, Brass Bonanza. Now, I discussed earlier the goaltending situation in Vancouver. Now, let's continue with goaltending, but switch to the southern part of the United States, specifically Kari Lehtonen and the Dallas Stars. A goaltender who hasn't received quite as much fanfare and spotlight as, let's just say, Vancouver's goalie, Roberto Luongo, and Phillies goalie Ilya Bryzgalov. Dallas Stars goaltender Kari Lehtonen also probably deserves some of that fanfare. Okay, let me just get this out of the way. I am a Dallas Stars fan, so a little bit of this is going to be biased, but just hear me out on this. So, to give you some backstory for those of you who aren't familiar with the for how Kari Lehtonen came to be as Dallas Star, he's been the goaltender for the Stars since February 2010 when Stars general manager Joe Nieuwendyk took a gamble on the often injured Atlanta Thrashers goaltender and traded Ivan Wisniewski, a once prized defensive prospect for the Stars, whose only claim to fame, and it's a dubious one, is accidentally shooting the puck in his own empty net. And Lehtonen took the reins from longtime Stars goaltender Marty Turco and has been the starter ever since. The Stars immediately locked him up for 3 years, 3 months into his tenure, because they were convinced he was going to be good enough for the next 3 years as the team tries to rebuild and come up from bankruptcy. The Stars haven't made the playoffs yet with Lehtonen as their backup, but in 2 full seasons, he has averaged a .918 save percentage and a .244 goals against average. Those are pretty solid numbers that are good enough to win most games. In 2 years, Lehtonen has won 26 games for the Stars, including 32 in 2011-2012, in which he only played 59 games due to injury. Now, with those stats in mind, the Stars felt the need to lock him up to an even longer contract while the 2010 first-round pick, Jack Campbell, their goaltender in waiting, that is currently with the AHL's Texas Stars, develops into a goaltender that the Stars feel confident enough will backstop them in the future. The Stars signed Lehtonen to a 5-year, $29.5 million contract that will begin at the start of the 2013-2014 season, paying him an average of $5.9 million per season. Early on this season, though, it seems as if Lehtonen has liked his major payday and has easily been the team MVP thus far. Kari Lehtonen's played 7 of the Stars' 9 games thus far, spotting a record of 3 wins, 2 losses, and an overtime loss, that one coming against the Blackhawks. His goals against average is .262, and his save percentage is .924. Let's be honest here. Some of those numbers don't look stellar, but let me put them in context with how the rest of the team has been. Lehtonen is putting up those numbers while on a team that allows, on average, 34.1 shots per game. That is the most in the NHL. The team has only directed an average of 24.4 shots per game, which is abysmal. The Stars are currently 29th in the league in goals for, with 1.78 goals for per game. They have been shut out already twice on the road. The only team worse than them in goals for per game is Nashville, who scores an average of 1.5 goals per game. Now, let's be clear here. Lehtonen is the sole reason that the Stars have even won games. He is facing an astounding amount of shots for an offense who is not helping him out at all, let alone the defense who isn't blocking these shots and getting it out of the defensive zone. You can ask many Stars fans how awful second periods have been for the Stars, and I'll just say it. It's been downright abysmal. Lehtonen has faced 210 shots already on the season in 7 games of play, and he's saved 194 of them. Except for the second game against the Detroit Red Wings, in which he allowed 4 goals, he's been a brick wall for the Stars in net. He's been in games where the Stars have given up 40 shots against the Phoenix Coyotes, 40 shots against the Detroit Red Wings the first time they played each other, and 41 against the Chicago Blackhawks. Where is the defense? They need to help this guy out. He can't be Superman the entire season. It's not sustainable. And on that note, the Stars should be extremely thankful for him for keeping them in games, because if it weren't for him, this team could easily be 0-9 on the season and way out of contention for a playoff spot. He is performing well enough to win every game for the Stars, but the team in front of him needs to help him out instead of expecting him to be superhero every game. If the defense can improve and Kari Lehtonen can keep up his performance, he could be on a Vezina Trophy ballot. That remains to be seen.